I agree.
Reunion. Like there's really wasn't anything going on. There was some,
Right.
yelling, some screaming, like there always is, and that type of thing.
But they also talked. They talked a lot about what's her face and her husband, Peter and Cynthia, and their relationship, and how about it's all a farce now, and they're not really together. And
But it's funny that you say that because there's a report that's come out that's saying that they've split.
well, that does not surprise me at all. I'm gonna go back in the archives. I told y'all last year that I thought these bitches were gonna be breaking up eventually. But
Yeah, they've separated.
Yeah.
It's all over the internet.
that does not
so-
surprise me.
I feel like reality shows do that to married couples. I don't know what it is about that, but it's like
Name one reality show couple.
Yes, but they were kind of like it's a little late for them, don't you think? Like they've been very open about their relationship kind of like falling apart over the years since like day one.
No, it didn't really. I mean, they always had issues because of family and whatever, but it wasn't really
Right.
bad until this last season when the whole girl on the club and shit thing happened, and that's when.
Well, and then do you remember whenever she said like that she wasn't attracted to him anymore?
Yes.
You remember that?
That was like
just
that
the
is
little
the
things over the years.
that is the end, girl. Sorry. So are you attracted to Peter? Yeah. Are you attracted to him with the clothes off? No. It's like, oh my god.
But I thought that was, and I've said this before on one of our previous shows. I thought that was really kind of an embarrassing thing to say on national television about your husband.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, hello. I mean, that's kind of hard to come back from that because think about, first of all, Peter's like an extremely like machismo type of guy, and he's like his pride is gonna be his ego and everything is gonna be bruised by that. Especially if he's like a big player, which everyone says he is. So the fact that she said she didn't want to have sex with her husband and she's not attracted to him naked, that is pretty damaging to a relationship. I don't care who you are. So anyway, but yeah, that happened, and of course, Phaedra talked about going to see Apollo, big whoop, and then Portia got into it with Kenya. What's she about her getting in her business, right? About the fact she's dating.
Right.
Oh no,
Kenya
said.
Don't they all argue about that?
Well, no, Kenya said that she was basically laying on her back to get that Bentley or that Rolls or whatever she had and everything else, which is probably true. Portia's a big old hoe. She's a thought. She herself says she's a thought. So I mean, come on. Anyway, but yeah.
But they call each other names all the time. But I need Portia. I mean, not Portia. I need Phaedra. Phaedra has been beating this whole storyline with a dead horse about her and Apollo.
Yes.
Like, girl, stop. Stop. I cannot take any more of this. We know that you're a single mother. Welcome to every other woman in America. You are a single woman with children.
Especially black women.
What do you fucking do?
Mm-hmm. Yes, especially.
And she's like, well, it's just so hard. I'm like, okay, tell that to the woman who lives across town from you with 6 kids and 2 jobs.
Right.
It's like Phaedra, stop. Phaedra.
But they're still not divorced. They're still not divorced. So.
You wear me thin. So I mean, I don't know what they're. I know it has to be a mutual agreement, I guess. But no, I guess not if you divorce someone. I don't know. I've never been married, so I don't know. But Phaedra, come on now, come on. This
and
is
then at the end of the episode, who comes back but Nene Leakes onto the stage with her jumpsuit. Her clear
and the little nipples. I saw that on Instagram.
Yes, and so she's. The thing is, as much as you can like or not like Nene, I admire her because she has really evolved so much since the show started. If you remember what she looked like and acted like and everything in the beginning versus now. And she still has her own issues, don't get me wrong. But
someone had a slideshow of Nene from season 1 up until now.
Oh, it's like Shrek.
She has changed so much over the seasons.
Yes, she has, and that's what I'm saying. I'm impressed that she actually took this kernel of fame and turned it into a real career that she was always wanted to have. That's impressive. Anyone, I don't care if you like them or not. That's impressive.
But I will say I do love season 1 and season 2 Nene because
she was more real than ever.
Yes,
yeah. Of course.
I loved season 1, season 2 Nene, and a little bit of season 3. After that, it started to go down.
I think something happens with people. It's like Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey when she was first started and everything, she was all real and everything. And I'm not saying she's not real now, but I'm just saying there's a huge difference in the personality between someone who is coming up and someone who's trying to make it versus someone who's made it and has tons of money.
Exactly. I remember when I remember years ago when they were having their little media tour,
Uh-huh.
and they were going around and they were, I think they were when I found out they were in Entertainment Tonight, and they had a new franchise that said coming soon, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they had black women and
Yes.
one white woman.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god! So because I honestly I never thought that Bravo would do a Housewives franchise with predominantly black women.
Why?
So it's Bravo.
Bravo
Well,
is
Atlanta
run
was the
by
second-
a gay man at that time, especially. So I mean, of
Yeah, and
course.
Atlanta was the second one that ever came out, so it's still really early in the game.
Yeah, it was
Right,
early.
right. So, and then I was just like, oh, but when it first started, Nene was my fucking favorite. Like from season 1, episode 1, I fell in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
Then it got to season 3, I was like, and then season 4, I just fell off.
That's
Yeah.
the thing, though, and that's what I'm saying. And you've seen her change and evolve in different ways throughout the years, and I feel the same way. There's been years I've liked her, there's been years I have not liked her. But also, I think if just like with anyone in real life, if you begin to dig behind the facade of someone, you begin to see their reason for their behavior and why they act the way they do. And I think we've learned a lot more about her past and growing up and da-da-da. As a result of that, I think she's a little more sympathetic now, or understandable. At least for me, she is, than she once was. Now, tell us about the fact that she is coming back now.
So, yes, it's been quite clear that there's been a huge source of entertainment missing from this last season. And obviously the network producers have felt it since they're trying to bring her in here and there. But now it's being reported that they have offered Nene a whopping $2.5 million to return as a full-time cast member next season.
Get it, girl.
Which she was already the highest paid housewife at $1 million, then $1.5 million. And I kind of figured that's why she didn't do the show last year, because they didn't give her another raise. But
Yes.
here it is, $2.5 million to come back to the show, and I gotta say that's pretty damn impressive for a freaking reality show.
It's very impressive, and I think she deserves every penny of it because she earns it. I know that show, doing whatever she does as being herself. Because the truth is, it's not the same show without her. So
yeah, see, but the thing for me is, like, I feel like especially last season was the last season that I really watched. It felt like a huge disconnect because she wasn't really genuine friends with anybody. You know what I mean? Like outside of the camera thing.
Yeah.
She wasn't hanging out with anybody at lunch like she used to hang out with Kim and Sheree and all them when it first kind of got started. So I would like to see them find a way to incorporate more of her real life friends, just so that there's a little bit, because I like that more genuine side of her, and I think she tends to be a lot more open with discussions and kind of confrontation, and working through confrontation when they're her real friends. But it's like, when these bitches on this show aren't even your real fucking friends, why am I going to sit here and argue with you? There's nothing to argue for. And I think that's her mindset, which is why a lot of the times when they try to do the therapy sessions and they try to talk it through dinner, she doesn't pay no attention, because it's like, for what?
Right, exactly. I get
the rumor
that.
is behind the scenes, like, none of these girls even hang out with each other. Like, when the show is in post production.
I don't think that's true. That none of them do. I think that's most of them.
I mean,
don't.
that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
none of these girls really even hang out or see one another.
I feel they. Oh, I don't know. It depends on which ones you're talking about, but that could be true. Who knows? But
Like
it
all
is.
of them.
It is.
But as far as Nene goes, I genuinely don't think she hangs out with Portia, Phaedra, Cynthia. You know what I mean? Like, she's just so disconnected from all of them.
Well, we know she
Well, we
doesn't
know
like
she-
candy, so
You put the words right in my mouth. I was about to say, we know good and damn well she doesn't hang out
she
with
does
Candy.
not like candy at all. They don't like each other. I see you. We see each other. Yeah. So anyway, no, but it's a good show. I love the show. Speaking of Real Housewives, of course, it's next week. I think Monday. Isn't it Monday? 11th? No, it's next 2 weeks. I think. Housewives of Dallas, Real Housewives of Dallas, big premieres. I think it's April 11th. Actually, I'm not sure, but and I don't know about that show. I'm not sure. It's always I'm always trepidatious about a new Real Housewives franchise because you never know what they're gonna be like, but. What do you guys think? Are you interested? Are you intrigued? Are you excited? Are you terrified?
I am interested, intrigued, and excited, and terrified, because I don't know if I'm going to pop up on the screen or not.
That's the best part.
And I was like, 50 pounds heavier
Well,
when that show was filming.
No, actually 60 then, because you're going to look 10 pounds heavier than that. So there you go.
Oh, I don't know.
So you're going to show. No, I'm saying you're going to show looking even better in person now. So it's good.
Please, I'm going to be in the background. No one's going to know me. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't like to say anything not nice, especially when it comes to like local Dallas stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see kind of how it shakes out. My personal impression, just based off the trailer that I've seen, it does look a little cheap.
Yes, it does.
It's a little cheap. But I think it will be entertaining, and I don't know for the right reasons. But we'll find out when it starts premiering.
But you know that you guys know, look, I mean, you've seen enough Real Housewives from the beginning, depending on what season you like, or what show, franchise, that the first season, just like we were talking about Nene, the people on the show look like the first season of The Simpsons. And then, you know what I mean? And then, like, they get, exactly, production value comes in later, they start to look all pretty and everything. So it's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think one thing to think about too is like just knowing from the experience of the whole shakedown of over the last year and a half while they were making this show, it's like they did not produce this show to be a Real Housewives show. It was going to be another type of show.
I heard that.
And they kind of edited it and recut it to be a Housewives show because they really believed in this cast. Mm-hmm. So I think that'll be interesting too to kind of see how that shakes out and that kind of thing. And I think that goes back to what you were saying, like the first season is always a little bit different than, luckily if the show gets extended.
They have to find their groove and all that, get into the sync of things. But yeah, okay. So let's talk about, last thing I want to talk about real quick was, have you heard about the whole thing about Wentworth Miller and his tweets? And
Oh, I read about that a little bit earlier.
Now, I don't know if you know who Wentworth Miller is. You know who he is, right? Both of you? Or not?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Okay, yeah. He's also biracial, by the way. But anyway, I always put out biracial people like Mariah, Holly Berry, Derek
He was
Jeter.
on Prison Break.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he was extremely fit and everything. Did Prison Break in those years or whatever, and then he was kind of took out the spotlight for a while, and he got real chunky and overweight, and they were...
Well, first of all, he wasn't real chunky. He gained a little bit of weight.
Comparatively, he used to be extremely thin and very, very muscular. Comparatively. I'm not saying he was like huge, like 1,000 pounds, but I'm just saying. Comparatively, that's why it was such a shock to see for these people. But someone had done a story or a tweet, or it's called the Lad Bible, talked about him being, I can't remember what they said or something, but anyway, something horrible about him. Hunk to chunk, that's what it was. Hunk to chunk and fit to flab and things like that. And for anyone that's probably disconcerting to some degree, but if you're going through a severe depression and suicidal as he was at the time, and was using food to comfort himself rather than sex or drugs or whatever, or alcohol, it's dangerous. And so what do you think about when you're a public figure and people say these negative things about you? How much responsibility does that kind of the media or whatever have if someone were to kill themselves as a result of that? Would they have any kind of responsibility for that?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I think that there should be legal responsibility involved, because whenever somebody commits suicide and, they write in their suicide letter that they're being bullied by so-and-so, that person is held accountable.
Yes.
So I definitely think that the media and, the first thing that comes to mind is kind of like the Princess Diana situation.
Yeah. When
she passed away because of all the crazy lunatic paparazzi. It's like we should have laws set in place for when things like that, and of course like mental breakdowns and that with the media happen, in order to kind of keep it,
make them back off a little bit, right?
Yeah, I guess essentially that's what I'm trying to say. Obviously, to some degree, you're going to get a little bit of backlash in everything you do as a celebrity, as a public figure. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have been following the whole like Kalani story that just happened yesterday. Do you guys know who Kalani is?
Oh yeah, she's a rapper, right?
Yeah, she's real quick. She's a R&B singer. She's real young, like 20 years old. Long story short, her and this basketball player had been dating for a long time. Her ex-boyfriend posted a picture of her and him holding hands in bed, wrote just like a real innocent caption. All of a sudden online it got really blown out of proportion that she was cheating on her boyfriend. Boyfriend got pissed, broke up with her. Internet started bashing her, and then last night she went to the hospital for attempted suicide.
Oh God.
So I think that obviously as a society, we need to be a little bit more understanding and realize that a lot of times these celebrities do see the tweets, they do see the Instagrams, that kind of thing. And I only know just because I've had a little mini taste of it, and I know how much like